Hi everyone. Today we will study the last bit of the topic in the chapter electrochemistry, that is batteries. You know what is a battery, right? It is a group of cells which we call it as battery. In physics we have seen now, right? Drawing the batteries for the circuit, isn't it? So a group of cells we call it as a battery. Now in battery, what is the chemistry behind this battery or the chemical reaction taking place in the battery? There, the chemical energy is being converted into an electrical energy. In fact, a chemical energy of a redox reaction is being converted into an electrical energy, isn't it? Or you can say a battery is an example of a galvanic cell or an electrochemical cell. Remember, in this case, the anode is having a negative charge and cathode is having a positive charge. In the electrolytic cell, it was the opposite. So here, in the battery, you can have anode as positive and cathode as the negative. But the reaction always anode on oxidation and cathode on reduction. Clear? Now, as far as batteries are concerned, it is mainly divided into two, that is primary battery as well as secondary battery. Now, what is this primary battery? Primary battery, for example, the dry cell. That means the battery which is used in our clocks and transistors. Okay, it is called as dry cell or Lagrange cell. Okay, so that is primary battery. Now why we call this as primary battery? Why? Because this battery after some time, its half-life is very short. That means it can be only used once. After a short period of time, it will die out. That means it cannot be reused or recharged. It can be used only once. That is the disadvantage of a primary battery, or that is what we call it as a primary battery. Okay. Now secondary battery means what? It can be reused again by charging. Okay. You can charge many times and you can use, for example, in the car batteries you have seen, or in the case of an inverter. All these cases secondary batteries are used because we can reuse or recharge the batteries. Okay. Now we will see in detail two types in the primary battery, that is, one is the dry cell or the Lagrange cell, then you are all familiar with that, and second is the mercury cell or the button cell. That also we are familiar because you have seen in the watches, isn't it, or in the transistors, a small round battery, that is a mercury cell. So these two we will study in this case. Okay. Now before going into that, in the board exam you are asked this primary battery, there are certain points to remember in this primary batteries or secondary batteries. That's all. First is, you have to know the anode of this battery. Then you have to know the cathode of the battery. Then what is the electrolyte used in the battery. Then the anodic reaction and the cathodic reaction. That's all. In all these batteries, we are studying today 4 batteries, 2 from the primary and 2 from the secondary. Now for all these, what you want to study is only the anode, the cathode, the electrolyte used in that battery, the anodic reaction as well as the cathodic reaction. In fact, the net reaction also you will see after writing this anodic and the cathodic reaction. Correct? Now we will go into detail about this dry cell or the Lagrange cell. It is a primary battery. Correct? Primary battery. Now you know the anode. What is the anode of this Lagrange cell? You know, no? Right? Like this. And okay. So the anode of this battery is a zinc container. See, the outermost covering of the battery, that is made up of zinc. So that acts as a cathode in this dry cell or the Lagrange cell. So what is the anode there? Anode is the zinc container or the zinc wrap around this the cell. Okay. Now what about the cathode? So cathode is nothing but, see, this is a carbon or a graphite electrode. Is it that the knob is getting outside, you know. Okay. So that acts as a cathode. So you can write a carbon or a graphite rod. Correct? Now, so what is anode? Zinc container. You only study this. Anode, cathode, electrolyte and the reactions. That's all. Okay. Now, anode is zinc container and cathode is carbon rod. Now, coming to electrolyte. The electrolyte in this dry cell is, you know, there is a space between this carbon or the graphite electrode and the zinc, that is the zinc container or the zinc rack of this. There is more space between these two, and this space is filled with what? The electrolyte. And electrolyte is a mixture of 3 or 4 things. That is, I will write it as MnO2. What is MnO2? This manganese oxide or dioxide plus carbon black. You know carbon black, you have studied earlier. Plus moist, listen carefully, moist ammonium chloride and zinc chloride mixture. You see, the electrolyte contains MnO2, carbon black, moist ammonium chloride as well as zinc chloride. Moist means definitely it contains ions, isn't it? Okay, so this is the electrolyte present in this dry cell or the Lagrangian cell. So now you know what is anode, that is zinc. Now what is cathode? Carbon rod, and electrolyte, a mixture of all these. Now actually speaking, the chemistry behind these reactions of this anode and cathode is very, very complex. But what you should study is only a simple anodic reaction as well as the cathodic reaction. Just we will write a simple anodic reaction as well as a cathodic reaction. Just study that. That's all. Okay. Now coming to anode. Anode, what happens always? What happens in anode? Anodic oxidation. Correct. Now what is there in the anode? Zinc. Okay. Now we have then what? Zinc giving Zn2++, 2 electrons, because it is oxidation. Correct? Anodic oxidation. Now what happens to cathode? Cathode is, see, what is the electrolyte there? It is MnO2. Correct? Now in the cathode the reaction is MnO2. Okay, the manganese dioxide, it reacts with NH4+. That is, from where this NH4 plus is getting? From the moist NH4 plus, ammonium chloride NH4 plus electron will give you, listen, MnOOH. Please listen carefully how I am writing. MnOOH plus NH3. That is why I said this reaction is complex. So just don't go into the detail. Just in the textbook there it is given as the anode and cathode. Just study that. That's all. Now you see, in this cathode a reduction happens, right? Cathodic reduction. Now how this reduction happens? See, what about the manganese oxidation state? O is -2, that is -4 is +4, correct? Manganese is +4. Now the +4 is reduced to, see, it's a complex, MnOOH. Now OH is -1, O is -2, so -1, -2, -3, that is manganese is +3. Now it is reduced, the manganese is reduced from +4 state to +3 state. Just know it. Is the reduction taking place or not? Definitely the reduction is taking place. That is Mn4 plus is getting changed to Mn3 plus. So that is the cathodic reaction. Okay. Now one more thing I want to say is that the ammonia formed here will form a complex with this electrolyte zinc. That is, it forms a complex ZnNH3 4 times 2 plus. Okay. Just for the information, the zinc complex, zinc ammonium complex is formed in this reaction, and this dry cell has got a potential of 1.5 volt. So this is all regarding the dry cell. Just the points only you have to remember. That is, anode is what? Anode is zinc, cathode is carbon rod, electrolyte is a mixture of manganese dioxide plus carbon black plus moist ammonium chloride and zinc chloride, and the reaction is as follows. And it has got a cell potential of how much? 1.5 volt. That's all. So this is all about this Lagrangian cell or dry cell. You got it? Is it clear? Okay. Now we will pass on to the second primary cell which you want to study is called as the mercury cell or the button cell. You know what is button cell, which you are using in the watches, isn't it? Or in the hearing aids, very small round one, no? So next we will see what is about the mercury cell. Mercury cell, or you also call it as button cell. Okay. In the case of mercury cell, you have to know the anode, you have to know the cathode, the electrolyte, and what? The anodic reaction as well as the cathodic reaction. Correct? Now, we will see what is anode. Okay. Anode means it is nothing but zinc amalgam. You know what is amalgam? Anything which is in connection with mercury, you will call it as zinc amalgam. So, the anode is zinc amalgam. Correct? Okay. Now, what is cathode? Cathode is mercuric oxide plus carbon black. Just listen carefully. The cathode is mercuric oxide plus carbon black. What is anode? Anode is zinc amalgam. We used to put a bracket for mercury. Then we call it as zinc amalgam. Now, what is cathode? Mercuric oxide plus carbon black. Now, what is electrolyte here? Electrolyte here is, it is potassium hydroxide and zinc oxide. See, you have to study this. That is, electrolyte is potassium hydroxide plus zinc oxide. So, you got all the three: anode, cathode and electrolyte. Correct? There is a diagram in your textbook. You can refer to that also. Okay. Now, we will see what is the anodic reaction and what is the cathodic reaction. Correct? Now, we will write the anodic reaction as well as the cathodic reaction. Now, what happens in the anode? Anode, what happens? Oxidation happens in the anode, isn't it? Now, what is happening in the anode? Oxidation happens in the anode. So, here you will have zinc amalgam plus, from this KOH, it is getting OH minus to form zinc oxide, isn't it? Zinc oxide plus water. That is zinc amalgam plus 2 OH minus gives zinc oxide plus water. Since oxidation is happening, that is 2 electrons. 2 means 2. H2, 2. Okay. So, in anode, that is zinc amalgam plus 2 OH minus will give you zinc oxide plus water plus 2 electrons. This is the anodic oxidation. Correct? Now, we will write the cathode. What happens in the cathode? That is cathodic reduction. Okay. Now, what is happening in this cathode? Cathode is mercuric oxide. So, that is HgO. Now, what happens? HgO plus H2O plus 2 electron will give you Hg, isn't it? Mercury is HgO plus water plus 2 electrons will give you Hg plus 2 OH minus. See, this is the cathodic reduction. Now, here you have to say the overall reaction for this battery. Overall reaction for this cell. How you will write the overall reaction, you know. You will cut out this. That is, here see, you know, it is water, here water, then 2 OH minus, 2 OH minus, 2 electrons, 2 electrons. So, what will be the overall reaction? The overall reaction is zinc plus HgO will give you zinc oxide plus Hg. So, this is the overall reaction for this mercuric cell or button cell. Just study this. Okay, you will have an idea of how to write the anode and cathode. First, if you study one, that is anode, you can very well write the cathode. How? You see, ZnHg plus 2 OH minus will give you, OH is from the electrolyte, will give you ZnO, then giving out the 2 electron plus water. Now, you put this 2 electron plus water here because you have to cut out, or you have to cut out for the overall reaction. Now, what is the cathode? HgO. So, you can write very well easily the anodic as well as the cathodic reaction. Is it clear? Okay. Now, what you should do is, after this lecture, you have to take the notebook and write this reaction. Okay. All this reaction, that is anode, cathode, electrolyte, anodic reaction as well as the cathodic reaction. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of mercury cell is, this cell has got a potential of 1.35 volt. Dry cell it is 1.5 volt, but in mercury cell it is 1.35 volt. But this potential will be constant for this lifelong of this cell. It is constant throughout the life of this cell. There is a reason behind that. You see the overall reaction here. Is there any ions in this equation? No, isn't it? Because these are all Zn, HgO, ZnO, Hg. That's all. Okay. So there is no ions in the overall reaction, and that is why when there are ions, the concentration can change, isn't it? So since there is no ions, no concentration change, thereby what is it? The potential difference remains constant throughout this life of that battery or the cell. That is one advantage of that mercury cell. The potential difference remains constant throughout the life cycle. Correct? Okay. So that's all about what? The mercury cell or the button cell. So you studied two primary batteries. That is, first is the dry cell, that is the Lagrange cell, and second is the mercury cell or the button cell. Hope it's clear. Okay. Now we will pass on to the next secondary cell. Secondary cell, you know, car batteries or the inverters which we have in our home, isn't it? So secondary cell. Secondary cell or secondary batteries. The best example is what? The lead storage battery which we used in where? Lead storage battery which we used in cars or automobiles. Lead storage battery. Now what is the advantage of a secondary cell? That is, it can be recharged and reused, isn't it? Okay, once the charge is over, we can recharge it by giving the charge in the opposite direction. That is reversible. Okay, so we will see first the lead storage battery, the anode of the lead storage battery, the cathode of the lead storage battery, the electrolyte and the reactions. Clear? Okay. Now what is the anode in this lead storage battery? It is nothing but the lead. Lead is the anode. Correct? Now what is the cathode? Cathode is the lead grid. You know, lead grids. If you see that battery you can have, that is covered with the lead oxide. Lead grids covered with the lead oxide. That is the cathode. And the electrolyte is 38% sulfuric acid. So these are anode, cathode and the electrolyte. Anode is nothing but lead. Cathode is lead grids covered with lead oxide, and the electrolyte is 38% sulfuric acid. Clear? Now you will see what are the reactions. Only this much. The reactions and this anode, cathode, electrolyte. Now anode or anodic reaction is what? Oxidation, you know, correct? Now what happens? Pb plus SO4 2 minus, that is from the electrolyte, will give PbSO4 plus 2 electrons. This is oxidation, that is giving out of electrons is oxidation. That is Pb will form Pb2 plus, giving out 2 electrons, and the Pb2 plus combines with the SO4 2 minus to give the PbSO4. So that is anode, correct? Okay. Now what is cathode? Cathode means reduction. What is cathode? PbO2, correct? Now PbO2 plus, listen carefully, SO4 2 minus plus H plus. H plus is from the electrolyte, okay, plus will give you PbSO4 plus H2O. See, this you have to study. Okay, so PbO2 plus SO4 2 minus plus H plus in acidic medium, you will get again PbSO4 plus 2H2O, because 4H, so it is 2H2O. Clear? Now, how will you write the overall reaction? Okay, sorry, here you have to write the electron because it is getting reduced. So, the taking of electrons or the gaining of electrons. So, you add 2 electrons. Okay, to cut, you make it as 2. Okay. Now, what is the overall reaction? Overall reaction is, you cut this 2 electron and 2 electron. Then what will happen? Write the other thing, Pb plus PbO2 plus SO4 2 minus and SO4 2 minus. So 2 SO4 2 minus and 4H plus. So I can write it as 2H2SO4, correct? See, 2H2SO4 dissociate to form 4H plus plus 2SO4 2 minus. So altogether I can write 2H2SO4 giving what? PbSO4 and PbSO4. What is it? 2PbSO4 plus 2H2O. See, this is the overall reaction. So, lead storage battery, which is used as a secondary battery, which is also used in where? In cars, automobiles and inverters. Here, the anode is Pb, that is lead. Cathode, you know, Pb grids covered with PbO2. Electrolyte is 38% sulfuric acid. Now, the reaction goes like anode oxidation takes place, that is Pb plus SO4 2 minus will give you PbSO4 plus 2 electrons. Then cathode reduction takes place, PbO2 plus SO4 2 minus plus 4H plus 2 electrons giving PbSO4 plus 2 H2O. Cancelling out, what will happen? The overall reaction is Pb plus PbO2 plus 2 H2SO4 gives 2 PbSO4 plus 2 H2O. So that is all about what? The secondary cell, which is the first one you studied is the lead storage battery. Is it clear? Okay. Now that is about the first secondary battery, that is the lead storage battery. Now the second one is a very simple one. Is it clear? Okay. You just have to know anode, cathode, electrolyte and the reaction and overall reaction. Anode, cathode and the overall reaction. That's all. Okay. Board exam, the questions can come. Last year also a question came from mercury or button cell. One word mark. Okay. The next secondary cell you have to study is a simple cell. You don't even study about the anode or cathode or the reactions. Only you have to study about the overall reaction. That is, the second secondary cell is called as the nickel-cadmium cell. See, second is a nickel-cadmium cell. Here in your textbook there is no details given because of this complexity. You just study the overall reaction of this. It's very simple. There is a diagram given in the textbook. You can refer to that. The positive plate, the negative plate and the electrolyte in between the positive and the negative plate. That's all. So board exam there is no question of coming the diagrams and all. Just to have a reference of that to make you understand more clearly, just go through the diagram. That's all. Okay. Now coming to the overall reaction. Just you want to study the overall reaction. That's all. Okay. That is cadmium plus nickel hydroxide 3 times will give you CdO plus NiOH 2 times plus H2O. This is the reaction. That's all. Just study the overall reactions. Till now, this reaction doesn't come in the board exam. There is a question which is in the board exam, that is, what is the advantage or write one advantage or write one disadvantage of what? This nickel-cadmium cell. So in previous years, the questions asked is, write one advantage of nickel-cadmium cell or write one disadvantage of nickel-cadmium cell. But you have to study this overall also. Okay, if the question comes, we can write. Okay. Now coming to the advantage of this nickel-cadmium cell is, one is, it has got a long life when compared to the lead storage battery. See, when compared to the lead storage battery, which is a secondary cell, this nickel-cadmium cell has got a long life. That is the advantage of this nickel-cadmium cell. Now what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is, this is the advantage. Okay. Now the disadvantage is, it is expensive. It is highly expensive when compared to the lead storage battery. So this is the advantage and the disadvantage of the nickel-cadmium cell. Okay. So today we studied about the batteries, that is primary battery as well as the secondary battery. In the primary battery, we talked about the dry cell or the Lagrangian cell and also the mercury cell or the button cell. Then in the secondary battery, where you can recharge and reuse, isn't it? When the charging takes place, you have to know the reaction will be reversible. That means the anode will become the cathode and the cathode will become the anode. Okay, so it can be reused, or by recharging you can be reused, that is secondary battery. And he also talked about two secondary batteries. One is the lead storage battery, which we used in car automobiles, and second is the nickel cadmium cell. Nickel cadmium cell, you don't worry about these reactions, only the overall reaction you studied, and you study in particular what is the advantage and what is the one disadvantage. Advantage is what? It is that it is having a long life. The life period is long. You can use it very more than when compared to the lead storage. And what about the disadvantage? It is too expensive when compared to the lead storage battery. So that's all about the batteries. Okay. Now, a very important topic, always board exam questions is there in this topic, that is about the fuel cells. Fuel cells are now we are talking about these fuel cells, isn't it? The articles are coming from like in the fuel cells because of its eco-friendly nature, isn't it? Eco-friendly nature, the fuels are most talked about. Now, normally, when you talk about power or energy or producing the electricity is getting from the thermal power plants like NTPC or something else. Okay, you know that. But that electricity while producing, it is a major cause of pollution also. Now, how the electricity is produced, you know. How? By the coal, isn't it? By heating the coal, then what you will get? By heating the petroleum products or the coal or the gas or the oil, what you will get? You will get that steam. The water is being converted into the high pressure steam, and the steam is then required for the rotating that turbine, and then you will get the electricity. So actually the pollution is a problem in that case. But what about the galvanic cell? Here also the electricity is produced by the thermal power plants, which is having a pollution problem. But in the case of galvanic cell, you know, the galvanic cell, what happens? There also the chemical energy of a redox reaction is being converted into electrical energy with more efficiency. That is the importance of the fuel cells. Okay, so here you know it's a galvanic cell, electrochemical cell. So in this electrochemical cell, what you will do? You will continue to give the reactants to the electrodes, because electrodes are there, isn't it? So you give the reactants to that electrode and you get the products from that electrolytic compartment. Thereby you will get what? The electricity, or the electricity is produced as a result of the chemical reactions or the redox reactions taking place in the galvanic cell. And one such designed galvanic cell is called as fuel cell. Okay, it is of importance nowadays, that is fuel cells. So what is a fuel cell? Fuel cell is nothing but a galvanic cell. But it is a designed galvanic cell or a fuel cell which is designed to convert what? To convert the energy of combustion. Listen, the energy of combustion of fuels. That is why you call it as fuel cell. Okay, so it is a galvanic cell designed to convert what? In order to convert the combustion of fuels. To convert the energy of the combustion of fuels like hydrogen, then methane or methanol. Listen, hydrogen, methane or methanol, etc. More we can write other organic also, but still hydrogen, methane or methanol directly into electrical energy is called as fuel cells. You understood? I will tell you once more. See, fuel cells are nothing but galvanic cells. Now, galvanic cells, you know, chemical energy is being converted to electrical energy. Now, these galvanic cells are so designed in which this will convert the energy of what? The combustion of these fuels like hydrogen, methane or methanol directly into what? The electrical energy. And such cells are called as fuel cells. Okay, so study the definition of fuel cell. Okay, now coming into that, what is fuel cell or what are the advantages of fuel cells? You can see. Okay, now I will draw a fuel cell. the best example of the fuel cell is, only one example you have to study. That example is hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. It's very, very important topic, always asked in board exam. That is hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. You know what happens when hydrogen is reacted with oxygen? You will get water, isn't it? Exactly. So in the fuel cell you will get hydrogen plus oxygen will give you water. So water is making from this hydrogen fuel cell. Now we will see how this fuel cell is constructed. Okay. Actually, this has got an application. This hydrogen oxygen fuel cell is mainly it is used in the Apollo space program. It is used in the Apollo space program. Okay, whereby the electricity is getting by the fuel cell, the hydrogen oxygen fuel cells in the Apollo space program. And there the water vapor we got from this fuel cell is condensed and make it into water for the drinking of the astronauts. That is the application mainly in this Apollo space program in the hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Okay, I think last year 2018-19 board exam, it was asked, like in the Apollo space program, which cell is used? That is fuel cell. Okay, the electricity is being supplied by means of this fuel cell. Okay, so now we will see the apparatus or how the fuel cell is constructed. Very easy. See, you know hydrogen and oxygen. So the apparatus is like this. Very, very easy. See, here hydrogen is pumped in and oxygen gas is pumped in. So this is hydrogen gas and this is oxygen gas. Okay. Now here the electrode is, see, here there are two electrodes, anode as well as cathode, correct? Now both are carbon electrodes. Okay, both are carbon electrodes. Anode as well as cathodes are what? Carbon electrodes. So this is a carbon electrode and this is a carbon electrode. And this carbon electrode is anode where hydrogen is pumped, that is negative, and this oxygen is pumped is cathode, which is positive. See, that's the difference. Whereas if you remember, when you studied in 10th standard electrolysis of water, that is electrolysis, that is reverse of this. There hydrogen is getting at the cathode, isn't it? The hydrogen gas is getting at the cathode and the oxygen gas is getting at the anode. The reverse of this, because it is a galvanic cell. It's an electrochemical cell in which here hydrogen is at anode and the oxygen is at cathode. Correct? Then here the electrolyte is, see, concentrated aqueous NaOH. See? Now what is anode? Anode is carbon. What is cathode? Cathode is also carbon electrode. What is electrolyte? Between these two electrodes is the electrolyte. That is concentrated aqueous NaOH. Now what you will get? You will get the water. So this is the picture of the hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Clear? Okay. Now we will see the reactions. That's all. Okay. So can I rub this? Okay. Now please remember, hydrogen at anode, oxygen at cathode, electrolyte is concentrated aqueous NaOH. And one more thing. In this electrode, to make it more effective or in order to increase the rate of reaction, that is hydrogen bubbles are sticking into it, right? So in order to make that electrode more reactive, the rate of reaction, increasing the rate of reaction, you will put you will put platinum black at the surface. Why? In order to increase the surface area and thereby to increase the rate of the reaction. So platinized platinum is coated in this carbon electrodes. Okay. Now we will see the reaction. That's all. Only the reactions and its advantages. Okay. Fuel cell is very, very important. Now we will see, I already told you anode. Here anode is minus. Anodic oxidation happens. So in the anode it is oxygen, right? Anode. Now what happens in anode? Anode is hydrogen, no? Hydrogen. So hydrogen, you know, 2H2. 2H2 plus OH minus will give you 2H2 plus 4OH minus will give you 4H2O plus 4 electron. Just to study this, that's all. Okay. Now a cathode that is plus. That is a reduction happens. That is oxygen, isn't it? Now oxygen plus 2H2O plus 4 electron, because we have to cut this, will give you H2 plus O2, you have to give to H2O, correct? H2O plus, you have to cut this hydroxide ion, so 4OH minus. Correct? So now see H2, here H2, so no need of this. Okay, that is O2 plus 2H2O plus 4 electron gives 4OH minus. That's all. 4OH minus is there because there is 4 electron here, 4 electron here. Okay. Now, how will you write the overall reaction? Overall reaction, anode, hydrogen, then OH minus, 4H2O, 4 electron. So, how will you cut it? 4 electron and 4 electron you will cut it. 4OH minus and 4OH minus you cut it. Then 4H2O and 2H2O. So, what is remaining? 4 minus 2, here it will be 2, isn't it? Here it will be 2 if you cut it. So, we will have the overall reaction as 2H2 plus O2 will give you 2H2O. See, this is the hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Okay, so please study anode. What is anode? Anode is hydrogen, cathode is oxygen, isn't it? Now electrolyte is aqueous concentrated NaOH. The reaction is, you have to study this. Okay, by writing and by balancing you have to study this and you will get, you know the overall reaction, correct? So you just study how to cancel out it, that's all. So the overall reaction is 2H2 plus O2 giving 2H2O. Coming to the advantages of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Okay, the first advantage is the electricity produced by the fuel cell is 70% efficient when compared to the thermal power plant, which is only 40%. Okay, so this is more efficient. Okay, this is 70% efficient. The hydrogen oxygen fuel cell is 70% efficient. Okay, when compared to the thermal power plant, okay, which is only 40%. The second advantage is it is eco-friendly. That is pollution free. That is the main advantage. It is pollution free in nature. So these are the two advantages of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. So today's homework is very important. Write all the equations in these 4 battery cells as well as the fuel cell. And in fuel cell, you please draw the diagram also. So till then, keep studying. Thank you.